Hey, what's up YouTube adventurers? This is Motocamp Adventure and welcome to my first ride. I'll be narrating pretty much the whole time. And you see I got two cameras. This is the Drift HD 170 Stealth. The other one is a Contour Roam on my helmet. Alright, so this is a sketchy corner around here. Just took it slow. I was taking it real slow today. I don't know. I mean, my first time, hey lady, my first time just basically cruising around on a registered bike. So you can see there's a lot of twisty places around here, but I didn't really take it too fast, so it's not really like a big deal. And I totally forgot to put earplugs in. You should wear earplugs just for wind noise alone. So I was definitely a little psyched out on intersections and stuff, you know, reading in books that like intersections are one of the main problem areas on a motorcycle, but you know, mostly people are pretty good about spotting my bike. I think being a big red bike, me standing upright or sitting upright, and the two big panniers on the sides, it really stuck out. I didn't put my high beams on or anything. You can see I'm just touching dirt for the first time. This is in a state forest near where I live, and I'm going uphill right here. And it really wasn't as bad as I expected. I have Michelin Anakis on there right now for tires, and they're pretty worn, but they still fared pretty good. They really weren't too bad. I didn't really feel my rear end slide out at all or anything like that. Only really on the downhills when you stomp on the rear brake, which you shouldn't be doing. And I didn't turn off my ABS for this. I also didn't air down my tires, which I probably could have, but I wanted to keep riding for the rest of the day. This is sort of one of the earlier moments of the day I was riding. I rode for about 4 hours this day, I think. Let's see, I'm just going up this hill. I didn't really have any trouble going uphill, gaining momentum or anything. This is kind of hard-packed dirt anyway. It's not very sandy. The only thing that we really have to worry about is just kind of loose gravel and rocks. You can see I start to stand up here, and it's not totally necessary. I'm really not going too fast, and I'm not going over anything that's really that bad. Maybe if I had something more like a KLR, I would go more off-road, but this bike is kind of 80 to 90% road bike and say 10% off-road. Going downhill, I just pretty much use engine braking a lot. I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do because it seems like that would eat up some traction, but really I wasn't going more than maybe 20 miles per hour on these roads. So I just took off to the left here, and you'll see that up here is a big sand pit. Now this is like pretty loose sand. I didn't take this in here, and I definitely just came over here to see really how sandy it was, but it'd be pretty cool if you're on a dirt bike or something, and I've definitely seen some guys cruising around here, but I decided to just turn around. And this is where the failing starts to begin. So I don't think it's pretty obvious, but there's a lot of ruts right here, and I was just trying to crawl over them and back up, and I couldn't really back the bike over those ruts again. So you see me struggling, pulling back on the handlebars. I think eventually I get off and start pulling on it. And I stall. Failblog.com. .org, I think, actually. Chug. Yeah, so I was kind of thumping along there. I still wasn't really giving enough revs when I'm taking off. I sort of started to figure that out yesterday, I think. So down here is this guy in this John Deere backhoe, and he's got some like leaf blower attachment. I think he works for the forestry service, park service, whatever it is, but he's just kind of chilling there waiting for me. I'm just like crawling along, and he's like, come on. Here I just end up taking a break. I gotta get this HJC helmet off my head. It starts to kill my temples. It definitely doesn't fit me, and I didn't buy it for myself. This is actually a helmet my brother had. I think one of his friends gave it to him. So this is a small park that's pretty new, and I get to show you an Eagle Scout project. This is fairly recently, I think over the summer it was done. I helped out a little bit. It's a kiosk, basically a place to put your map of the area, any information you want to post. So yeah, Eagle Scouts represent. Should have really brought my boomerangs here, but even it was actually kind of windy. America, it's actually too windy for boomerangs. You only want to do that in like 5-mile-per-hour weather. So here they're cutting down trees or something, and I'm just like waiting for these guys to flag me on, and no one's really giving me a clear indication of whether I should go or not. I'm just kind of cruising along here, going really slow, and like, I don't know, they're all just kind of like staring at me, and then these guys are just moving shit. I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get by here, and I just totally forget about my clutch. But I save it. Don't even put my feet on the ground. So I'm coming up close to a really cool spot up here. See, this guy is totally paying attention, going slow. And this 4Runner behind me just kind of like rolls right up and goes through this optional, apparently, stop sign. What's with these trucks today? There's so many of them. And welcome to Hammonasset, land of the unkept pavement. Anyway, I figured while I was here I'd stop at Meigs Point. It's a pretty nice area. Probably Hammonasset's coolest place. That's what I like to see. Motorcycle parking only, mother... Anyway, I suggest you go check it out. This is the intersection coming out of there. And, like, is this sensor even working? Is my motorcycle not big enough? Shit, these guys have a green light. I'm going. Why anyone would design a one-way street under a tunnel going into an intersection is beyond me. But that's what they do here. More dirt. Anyway, I'm coming up on this Boy Scout camp here. It's in town. I didn't go to it. We always went to one that was like maybe 40 minutes away, which is actually honestly a lot nicer in my opinion, but this definitely has a lot of tradition behind it. What's up, Mark? So really at this point I have a few rides underneath my belt. It's really not that many miles. I basically have only used about 1 tank of gas so far. But I'm definitely starting to realize, ooh, sketchy. Definitely starting to realize that it's really not as hard as I expected it to be. And you really just got to ride within your skill level. And I think a lot of people that really get into accidents are usually the guys that are squids, you know, kids with like basically no gear. And they get on their Ninja 250 and just race away. And those are really the guys that generally get in trouble, I think. Also, I think that complacency can kill. If you really get too complacent about what you're doing, you sort of forget about what you're doing. So I'm just pulling up here for a piss break. And this place is really nice.
It's really quite hard to believe that this is in my hometown.
I've hiked around there a few times through Boy Scouts, but you need a permit basically to hike around there. It's like water town property. I don't know what it is. But you can see, I'm just going in back roads here again, back on dirt and horse poop. And this is a lot more downhill section. It's really not terribly hard though. And I'm sort of like in the back of a state park here. I found that I kind of enjoy more dirt riding stuff, even at slower speeds at this point. I mean, I haven't gone on a highway yet or anything like that, and I really haven't gone any like super long mileage trips. I've just kind of been going around in sort of circles around my area, just so if something does go wrong, I'm pretty close to home. But this road is pretty nice, and not many people know about it in my town, I think, which is kind of sad because it's like one of the few dirt roads in the area. So this intersection right here is like notoriously bad with motorcycles. I'm on a volunteer fire department in the town, obviously, and you'll see the direction I point here is I saw a guy come down this way, and he overshot and went over the guardrail. I didn't actually see it, but I responded to it, and I think that was maybe the second or third motorcycle accident in this area. But I'm about to try it here, and I really just want to see how sketchy it is. And I find that if you just take it at a slower speed, it's really not bad. I mean, I'm a really inexperienced rider at this point, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm just being super cautious about everything, just like this corner here too. I've seen a bicyclist hit a car coming around this corner too. Also another accident where a guy just completely went over a rock wall. He was actually drunk. Revzilla package. My gloves! My gloves! Saving the silica gel pack. It fits! They fits! Hulk smash! If you liked the video, please click the like button and subscribe for reviews, ride adventures, and other shenanigans.